When you've downloaded this Maya file, what you'll see is that there's a camera and 3 vases and a floor. I've already created a shiny Blinn on the floor, and if you hit space, you can actually go to panels and go find my render cam to look through it. This render cam is locked. You cannot move it, rotate it, or anything. This is always going to be in the same spot. So that's what our scene looks like. What we're going to do is create an image-based lighting node. So in your browser, you're going to search for HDRI download. And one of the sites I use, there's a whole bunch of sites that can do this, but I use HDRI Haven. And if you scroll down halfway through, you'll see browse 200 plus HDRIs will download. I want something outdoors, and let's just download something nice. Let's get this beachy, sandy one. Down below, you'll choose the size. Choose the small one for today, and it is in my downloads folder. Like so. It's an HDR file. This is important. So when we're in here, what we'll want to do is check our render settings, make sure we're in mental ray, indirect lighting, and create our image-based lighting. If I switch out to my perspective view, I can see that now there is a giant sphere surrounding the entire thing. And selecting it, I can see it wants an image. It'd probably be best to put this into my projects, but you know, I'm lazy. Click on your home. Yours will probably say student. Find your downloads. Find the name of your download, your HDR file. And that is your image, all on this big sphere. It's the same thing as like what games do. They have this skybox, and they just put it on a giant sphere or a cube, and that's how it works. Now, nothing is going to render out nicely. It'll show up in the background, but it won't really be reflected on these because there's no material. So for each of these vases, I'm going to select it, assign a new material, and I want to find this one called Mia Material X. If you're having a hard time finding it, you can search for it, or you can click on Mental Ray Materials. Find it right here. The reason why this is so nice is because you can change the presets. It's got a little asterisk on it so that you can change the presets. I'm going to make this chrome. You can do whatever you'd like. The metals work better than anything else. Mia Material X. Presets. I'll make it glass. Assign new material, Mia Material X, presets. Let's do some copper. Let's render it. All right, check it out. Now we have some nice reflections of the environment in here. It might be a little blown out and too bright, so I'm going to keep this image, and I'll close out the render. Select your IBL, your image-based light. And if you scroll down, you'll find render stats. Render stats is important. This is the very first one, adjust environment color effects. This thing right here, there's 2 color gains. The first one's important. If it is too bright, turn it down. Scrubbing through, I can see what I got. This is my first one, this is my second one. It looks much better. My God, does it look better. All right. Play with your settings, keep it. Let's say that you downloaded a dark one, a nighttime one. Well, because it's sort of like reflecting off of the lights, this one's very dark. It's going to be it's going to be much darker. There's not as many lights to illuminate this. So let's just test it out and do a render. It is turning out kind of dark. The darks are a little too dark. So once again, we'll check into the render stats. This color gain, we can actually bump this above 1. Like, you can't slide it above 1, but it understands that if you type in a higher value, it'll take it, it'll understand. So we can, if the render's taking too long, select a region, and then render the selected region. There we go. All of those really dark darks start coming up a little bit, but the whites stay fresh and nothing seems washed out. This is good. So I can keep on playing with this. Maybe 3 is too high. Oops, wrong one. And I'll drop it down to a 2.5 instead. And I'll probably like it, so this time I'll just render the whole image. There you go. It looks much nicer. It's a bit brighter. The only thing is that the image is a little blurry. That's not a problem. It's just because when we downloaded it, we downloaded the 1K lowest resolution texture. You can use a higher one, like a 4K. However, it's a much larger file size. It's not a big deal. I don't care about it. The background is fine to be blurry. Doesn't matter. Submit what you got. There you go. Follow the instructions to figure out how to actually make it so that your lights, the lighting of the environment is actually causing lights here. Because this is only reflections. You see that this bright light here? That's default lighting. I'll show you in 1 second what it looks like when it's emitting lights. All right, so what I did is I turned on emit light, I turned up the quality a little bit, bumped up the color gain for final gather, and that'll kind of sort of increase the color for everything, or increase the value of everything to be a little bit brighter. Probably needs a little bit more, but boy, look at that. So right here on the floor, we're starting to get those reflections of the lights, the yellows of the lights back here, whereas before it looks a little flat. So we're now getting to big boy render territory with big boy render times, but does it ever look good?